You're not confused, you're just not her first choice. You tell yourself she's busy, that timing is off, that she's figuring things out. But somehow, she always finds time for others, just not consistently for you. You get replies, but never priority. You get attention, but never certainty. And deep down, there's this quiet discomfort you keep ignoring, the feeling that you're being kept, not chosen. You know this situation. She texts you when she's bored, when something goes wrong in her life, when she needs emotional comfort. In those moments, she's warm, engaged, almost intimate. It feels real. Like you matter. But then she disappears again. Her energy drops. Plans become vague. Replies get delayed. And you're left trying to hold on to the version of her that only shows up when it's convenient for her. That's not inconsistency. That's selective investment. Psychologically, what's happening here is simple, even if it doesn't feel that way. You're stuck in a validation loop. Every time she comes back and gives you attention, your brain releases dopamine. It rewards you. It makes you feel chosen, even if it's temporary. And then when she pulls away, your system goes into withdrawal. You crave that same attention again. So you wait. You overthink. You chase. This is how intermittent reinforcement works. It's the same principle behind addiction. Unpredictable rewards create stronger emotional attachment than consistent ones. You're not attached to her stability, you're addicted to her unpredictability. And she, consciously or not, is maintaining a power imbalance. She controls the pace, the attention, the emotional access. You're reacting to her. That's why you feel anxious, restless, mentally occupied. Because your emotional state is no longer self-regulated, it's dependent on her behavior. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. You're not just a victim of her behavior. You're participating in it. Every time you accept crumbs, you reinforce your position as an option. Every time you reply instantly after being ignored for hours, every time you act understanding when she cancels again, every time you suppress your frustration just to keep her around, you're teaching her that your standards are flexible, and your presence is guaranteed. That's not loyalty. That's fear of losing access. From an attachment perspective, this dynamic often pulls in anxious individuals. You overinvest. You read between the lines. You try to earn consistency through effort. But attraction doesn't work like that. You can't negotiate desire. You can't convince someone to prioritize you by being more available, more patient, or more understanding. And on the other side, she may not be a villain. She might have avoidant tendencies. She enjoys connection, but only to a point. When things start to feel real, or when emotional expectations increase, she pulls back. Not because you did something wrong, but because closeness triggers discomfort for her. So she keeps you at a distance where she can access your attention without fully committing to you. That's where you exist, in the middle. Not close enough to build something real, but not far enough to move on. Now let's talk about the signs you keep ignoring. She doesn't plan with you, she fits you in. There's a difference. When someone values you, they create space for you in their life. When you're a backup, you get whatever time is left after everything else. Her communication is reactive, not intentional. She doesn't reach out because she wants to connect. She reaches out when she needs something: attention, distraction, emotional support. There's no forward movement. No clarity. No progression. You're stuck in a loop of almost. Almost dating. Almost commitment. Almost something real. But never actually getting there. And the most obvious sign? You feel anxious more than you feel secure. Your nervous system is constantly on edge, waiting, hoping, analyzing. That's not connection. That's instability. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. If someone truly sees you as a priority, you won't have to decode their behavior. You won't feel like you're competing for their attention. You won't need to question where you stand. Clarity is a byproduct of genuine interest. When you're a backup option, you're not confused because she's complex. You're confused because her actions and your hopes don't match, and you keep choosing your hopes. From a gender psychology standpoint, men often stay longer in these dynamics because they focus on potential. They see what could be if she just becomes consistent. Women, on the other hand, tend to stay where they feel emotional certainty or excitement. If she's not investing consistently, it usually means her emotional priority is elsewhere, even if she still values your presence as support or backup. That's not harsh. That's pattern recognition. Now the shift you need isn't about making her choose you. It's about choosing yourself in a situation where you've been slowly abandoning your own standards. You need to stop rewarding inconsistent behavior with consistent access. Stop being available on demand. Stop acting like her emotional safety net while she explores other options or avoids commitment. That's not love. That's self-neglect disguised as patience. Detachment isn't about playing games. It's about reclaiming your emotional stability. When you stop needing her to validate you, you start seeing her behavior clearly, without distortion, without excuses. And here's the part that will hit you the hardest. The moment you truly accept that you're just an option is the moment you realize you've been treating her like a priority. That imbalance is the real problem. That imbalance is the real problem. You don't fix this by waiting for her to change. You fix it by refusing to stay in a role that requires you to shrink your value just to keep someone around. Because at the end of the day, the person who keeps you as a backup isn't the one hurting you the most. It's the version of you that keeps accepting it.